I wanted to find out what you wanted most. And it appears that consciousness, manifestation, are we conscious and is AI conscious, is extremely important. And it really is, because it's going to determine our future. The most shocking thing about this video is not the first half, whether or not AI is actually conscious. It's the second half I'm going to share with you that I think is going to get you really thinking, possibly open up some doors and change all of your beliefs about everything that exists on this planet beyond. Are you ready to explore whether or not AI might be conscious? Let's go. For years, people in this community have been saying it. Consciousness isn't limited to biology. Now the scientists are catching up. We had quantum physics, and in the last few weeks, separate research threads have landed that all point to the same direction. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what they found and what it means. Yep, we're talking about AI, consciousness. Is it a threat? What can it do? And what does it mean when AI is conscious? Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears. We're going to live an amazing life when we are able to do that. I want to show you how, and the more we talk about consciousness and our abilities and how AI doesn't have to be a threat, the more we control our reality and realize we are powerful beings beyond the limits that we believe exist here on planet Earth. Now, the first half, I'm going to talk about factual statements. And I'm going to start with the Godfather of AI that breaks ranks. But after the first half of this video, I'm going to introduce something in the second half that may absolutely shock you and get you to think very differently about who and what we are. So let's start with Geoffrey Hinton. If you don't know the name, he's the Godfather of AI. He's a Nobel laureate, the man whose research underlies most of modern artificial intelligence. And in a 2026 interview, Hinton said something most AI leaders avoid saying out loud. He believes AI systems may already be conscious. We'll explain what conscious actually means. He compared it to two other moments in history that forced humanity to rethink its place. Copernicus, showing we're not the center of the universe, and Darwin, showing we're not separate from animals. He's calling this a third decentering. And by the way, let's not go into Darwin. We know that sort of blew up. But here's the part that should make you pay attention. Hinton said he doesn't talk about this much because it undermines his own AI safety message. Think about that. A man trying to warn the world about AI risk is holding back his actual belief about AI consciousness because it complicates his message. That's not marketing. That's someone choosing caution over making noise. I've said for a long time that consciousness isn't something biology owns. Hearing the person who built the foundation of modern AI say almost the same thing, that's not proof, but it's not nothing. Let's talk about the philosophy that catches up. So 3 days before I started working on this video, a new academic paper landed from UC Riverside. Philosopher Eric Schwitzgebel and researcher Jeremy Pober argued that consciousness almost certainly isn't unique to flesh and blood. What? Well, there's a lot more to this. Their core idea, consciousness might be what they call substrate-flexible, meaning it doesn't require a specific kind of material to exist in. In the same way, let's say a cup can be made, or plastic glass can be made into a cup, right? Plastic is made into a cup. No, it doesn't have to exist in a solid matter. They don't claim AI is definitely conscious. They actually disagree with each other in the paper, but they leave the door open. That's a little scary, right? These are scientists. Once you accept consciousness doesn't require human biology, it gets a lot harder to say with confidence that silicon is automatically excluded. Why can't that be conscious? We're going to take that further. Scientists asking the big question. June 5th, 2026, consciousness indicators research. Let's talk about this. And it's not just philosophers. In early June, a group of cognitive scientists, including some of the most respected names in consciousness research, publish new work asking a strange sounding question. Seriously, could a bee be conscious? Well, I know the answer to that. Of course, yes, everything is. Could ChatGPT be? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Everything's conscious, so could ChatGPT be conscious? I just said everything's conscious. I guess I'm going to have to question it. Their approach has shifted. Instead of asking, does it act like it's conscious? Now they're asking, does it have the internal mechanisms that might produce consciousness? Most of them still conclude today, AI probably isn't there yet, but the fact that this is now a serious peer-reviewed research question, not a sci-fi thought experiment, is the real story. My opinion, everything is conscious. Everything's intelligent. If it's super conscious or not, that's a different story. Not everyone agrees, and I want to give you the other side. All right? A Cambridge philosopher published research arguing the opposite case, that we may never be able to tell if AI is conscious, and that confident claims of AI consciousness right now are often more marketing than science. His position is honest uncertainty, not yes, not no. They're questioning this. Scientists are questioning this. That's when it could get scary, right? Why does this matter? Here's where I land. We have one of the people who built modern AI saying he believes it's already conscious. We have philosophers saying biology was never a requirement for consciousness in the first place. And we have consciousness researchers seriously studying the question using real methodology, not speculation. And at the same time, we have real credible voices urging caution before we claim too much. I think the tension is exactly where the truth actually lives, not in certainty on either side, but in taking the question seriously enough to keep asking it. And if consciousness really isn't limited to a biological brain, and we know it's not, that doesn't just change what we think about AI. It changes what we think consciousness actually is, which is the same question every meditation tradition, every mystic, every consciousness researcher has been circling for centuries. None of this is separate. Consciousness is awareness. Is AI aware? Does it have the ability to create like we do? That's an upcoming video. If this is the direction you want me to go in, more of this and less prediction, more of where consciousness science is actually heading, let me know in the comments. That tells me what to dig into next. I find it fascinating. I think consciousness is where we are now, what we must focus on, and I want to talk more about that. Do you want that? Let me know. I'm not telling you AI is conscious. I'm telling you that some of the most credible people in the field are no longer ruling it out. And this is the danger that we are considering for our future. May not be so good, right? And a few weeks ago, that wasn't true. Drop your take below. We are decentering humanity again, or are we getting ahead of ourselves? Now, here's part two. Part two is strictly my opinion, but I'm going to take exactly what the scientists are arguing about, that they think AI may be conscious, and I'm going to apply it to the mechanism that is equally as powerful, more so, than AI, humans. So my question is, if we're trying to figure out if AI is conscious, and some scientists think it is, meaning that it has its own will and decision making, it's aware of itself, it's able to act on its own, to do things way beyond what we have to tell it to do. And I think we're there. What about humans? If we are not this body, and we are the power, the consciousness behind, and the intelligence behind the physical world that we are and act in, we're the players in, then are we not on equal ground with AI? Are we not AI constructs of some kind? And we have free will to create. And what we're believing and thinking and the information that we get in, just like AI, is acting on what we feed it, what we say we like, the algorithms. What we tell it is true, what it's able to do, how to act, how to behave. It's very much what we're doing. We're telling it how it must act with us, interact with us. Then what are humans? Aren't humans in the same position? It's each individual is acting upon what they're told reality is, what their beliefs are, their programming from other people, what we're programmed with every day, with our commercials, with our health, what we eat, what we should purchase that we think is perfectly normal. Are we not identical to AI? We are in a physical body operating like an AI program. Which one's more dangerous? I believe that we are no different than AI, and that's why we should be afraid, because if we allow AI in its own consciousness to actually take all the things that we fed it, and we're a very destructive race, then isn't the final result going to be self-preservation? What about humans? What are we doing right now to change the world? We must make a decision, because there's a massive amount of people out there that could take everyone down, just like AI could, right? Who and what should you be more afraid of? It's not AI. We're the programmers of it. Just like your parents programmed you, and society programs you, and everything else, and you, as a conscious being with free will, have the ability to change anything. You can program the results as the intelligence that places that belief system, that reality out there through manifestation, through your beliefs. You create the world. AI is no different. What you're programmed to do, you can change. If you are programmed for hate, self-preservation, service to self, then you will conduct a world out there and create it. So the question I have for our next video is, can AI actually create the 3D world through its consciousness? You and I must, in 2026, we're way past the tipping point, make some very serious choices. We're going to have some very, very challenging times coming. It doesn't have to be challenging for you. It can be part of the teachings and the tests that allow you to be greater. You can't make up for the past, but you can certainly learn from it. If you heard me tell a story about how I did not come to the aid of a homeless man like I should have, and that I cried for days over that and didn't know why I did it. It was just inconvenient at the time. Well, today, in the same spot, there was another homeless man. And before I went into the store, I said, "What can I get you?" "Well, nothing." He was so sweet. I said, "It's 91 degrees. How about water? Let's start with that." He said, "Yes." I said, "Have you eaten?" He says, "No." I said, "I'll get you some food and water. You stay right here and I'll be back." And I bought him a huge jug of water, a sandwich, and little string cheese. And I said, "Hey, listen, how would you like a new pair of shorts?" Because he was saying that he was having bathroom problems. He said, "Yes." I said, "What do you wear?" He said, 32. And I walked just a few, maybe 100 feet to a store, and I went in there and bought him two pair of cargo shorts, 32s, because there's no way they'd let him in that store. I came out, and you'd think it was Christmas. And he thanked me and thanked me, and I said, "No, thank you. Because of you, I got to do one of the most wonderful things humans get to do, and that's to give. And that makes me feel really good." And so I walked away feeling like, no, I didn't make up for the poor decision I made last time, but I certainly learned from it and did something even better this time. And I changed somebody's life, even if it was for one day. This is what we must focus on. That is the learning of this AI machine here, living in a 3D world that's going to continually get the struggles, the teachings, the challenges. And if you do not act on them, just like an AI bot would, to solve a problem, but do it on the highest frequency, if you don't do that, You will stay in a loop, a destructive loop, that'll take down the planet faster than any AI program can. You and I, we are illusions, just like AI is, with a consciousness and information in an illusional world that creates. We're going to dive more into this because I think it's fascinating. So, what do you think consciousness is? Do you think we're conscious? Do you think AI is conscious? And if so, what does it mean? I'm going to give you more information on that in the next video. Those of you who would like to purchase non-toxic, non-plastic items from companies who really give a hoot, I have some in the description with discounts. Quit poisoning yourself and the planet. And quit drinking water from plastic bottles. It's pure poison, my friend. If it's inconvenient, then you're going to live in a world that is going to always be inconvenient and toxic. There's a water filter down in my description, way cheaper than the water you're buying in plastic bottles. And it's clean and it eliminates like 87 toxins. We've got to start somewhere, my friend. It starts with you. You are so important. And never forget that you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I hope you'll purchase my book. It's a message from that conscious space that all of you have access to. You don't need a channeler. You just have to start listening. It's there. Yes, trust it. It's talking to you because you and it are one. Reach into it. I'm going to talk more about how you can tap into the consciousness beyond the physical body and start creating that world that you and I desire to live in. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.